holy. We are holy, holy, holy. We are holy, holy, holy. We are. Good morning. We're going to open our service with a little singing this morning. Please join along if the Spirit is moving you. Thank you for this day, Spirit. Thank you for this day. Thank you for this day, Spirit. Thank you for this day. This healing, this healing, this healing day. This healing, this healing, this healing day. Thank you for my friends, Spirit. Thank you for my friends. Thank you for my friends, Spirit. Thank you for my friends. This healing, this healing, this healing day. This healing, this healing, this healing day. Please greet each other with a sign of peace, a hug, a warm greeting.
So I don't know what announcements we have. I got here late and I didn't check in with anybody. So let's see. Let me see if I can remember anything that's going on around here. We do have your class is full, which is great. Your class has started already, hasn't it? Yeah, awesome. So we have in the 19th, which is 2 weeks from today. Wow. It's our potluck. Thanksgiving potluck, and our men's ministry and women's ministry are meeting. They're not meeting. Okay, well, I saw that, but I thought, well, that's kind of interesting. But so we're not meeting that Sunday. So we're having our potluck celebration, Thanksgiving celebration that Sunday. And so please plan to join us and bring some good food. Anything I need to announce today? All right, awesome. Well, we have Stephanie Chang with us this morning. I'll announce that. Welcome back, Stephanie. Thank you for being with us today. And Sydney, yes, thank you. And Lise over here, and Alan over here. Thank you all for being here today. All right, so now Colleen is going to share a reading with us.
Well, it was lovely to have an extra hour this morning. I took my dogs last night over to the clock and I said, okay, you're going to sleep in 1 hour later tomorrow morning, right? And all of 4 of them, after I gave them a treat, they looked at me affirmatively, right? So I thought, I'm good. Nah, their body clock just said, okay, we're going to be up same time. And that was kind of nice because I saw that beautiful sky that God painted for us this morning with the peaches and the purples and the pinks. And I thought how perfect that is on a wonderful Sunday morning like this that we're so grateful for. And I chose my reading last night. I did a lot of soul searching in regard to, well, where do I find the material for abundance, right? Because I have abundance in material. Several bookcases full of books. But all of a sudden I went to this one shelf, and the book that just sang to me was The Art of Life. And this is by Ernest Holmes. It was previously published as what you might also know, this thing called life. So, and it was great. I mean, I couldn't put it down last night, actually. I hadn't read it in a long time. And I remembered how this book just settled me so into knowing science of mind concepts and the comfort and the beauty of life. So let me share with you what I picked out as the message that I thought was going to be good for us in working the theme of abundance this month. Since you are fundamentally a mental being, you can think yourself into being unhappy and depressed. Or you can think yourself into being glad. Did it ever occur to you that you can also think yourself into being well, into being prosperous, that you can think yourself into success? Well, you can if you believe in the law of life and use it rightly. But you must learn to use it affirmatively. You must learn to identify yourself with your desires. You must become the master of your own thinking. This is the only way you will realize freedom and joy. Therefore, you will have to turn your thoughts away from lack, want, and limitation and let them dwell on good. Make yourself do this. Learn to think about what you wish to become. You are a thinking center in life, and the chief characteristic of the law of life is that it responds to thought. Your slightest thought sets up a vibration. It sees its creative intelligence in motion, and it is God. And it causes it to create circumstances for you which you will correspond to your thought. So the power of our minds. And there was a little verse in there that I thought was good that I decided I'm going to read every morning this week. Learn to see through the confusion into peace, to see through sickness into health, to see through poverty into success and abundance, to believe in all sustaining good. Learn to trust in God and be at peace. And so it is.
There is one love. There is one power. There is one life eternal. God lives through me. There is one love. There is one power. There is one life eternal. God lives through me. I am that love. I am that power. I am that life eternal. God lives through me. God lives through me.
Take this opportunity to stop and breathe and settle in right where we are. As you breathe, I invite you to allow that breath to bring your full attention and awareness into this now moment. As much as possible, letting go of the busyness of the morning, any thoughts about what's going to happen when you leave here today, and just be fully present right here and right now. And as we allow ourselves to breathe deeply, breathing our awareness all the way down through the bottom of our feet and feeling our connection with the Mother Earth. That abundant life of the Mother Earth that nourishes us, that sustains us in so many ways. We open ourselves to the awareness of this space and those in this space and the love that each one brings here and shares with us, with each other. We breathe that in. We allow that to be that energy, that life that is healing, restorative. It is love that heals. There is one life, there is one love, there is one power. And we claim that truth right here, right now. We claim that I am that life. I am that love. I am that power. The power that is the source of all. The power that breathes me into being. The power that inspires my mind. The power that flows in me, through me, as me. I am that life. I am that love. I am that power. And allow that truth to resonate in every fiber of your being. Allow that truth to resonate in any aspect of your life that might be calling for some alignment, attunement, some remembrance of that truth. And trust and know that that life is intelligent life. That life is perfect life. That life is your life now. And so as we claim it, we choose to align it to it, and we know that we be that life. And take a deep breath, centering yourself, coming back into the space. And together let us proclaim, and so it is.
Where I am, God is. Where I stand, God is standing strong. Where I breathe, God is breathing life in and out and through as me. Where I sing, God is. Where I dance, joy lifts my feet. Where I live, beauty's flowing free in and out and through me as me. For where I doubt, God is the faith in me. Where I cry, God is the comfort there. Where I seek, God is the answer. Here and now, forever and ever and ever. Where I speak, truth is. where I am, where I stand, where I play, where I work and breathe and move and be, where I sing, where I dance, my dance, my dance, wherever I go, where I pray and take and give and live. God is, life is, truth is, God is. Wow. Thank you. Thank you, guys. Thank you.
Thank you, everyone. That's one of my favorite songs ever. And Stephanie, you do it so beautifully. Especially with the harmony, really just gorgeous. Thank you for doing that song. What a great affirmation. Faith Rivera. If you're not familiar with Faith Rivera's music, I encourage you to check it out. She's pretty amazing. So, today we are starting a new month. We're going to be talking about awakened abundance this month. I'm going to be using quite a bit of the material from this book by Rydall called The Abundance Project. And I found, you know how those things happen. Somebody just mentions a book and you think, oh, well, I'll check that out. And I checked it out and I really, really appreciate his perspective. He doesn't really proclaim it, but I'm pretty sure he's science of mind. Or unity, somewhere around there anyway, new thought anyway. So I'm curious, when I say the word abundance, what comes to your mind? What images arise? What thoughts come up when I say abundance? Richness, financial, unlimited, what's that? Joy, yeah. Love, freedom, health, happiness, all of those things, right? So sometimes when you think about abundance, and my first thought, I'll be honest with you, my first thought is money. And the image that comes to my mind when I first think about abundance is, I've seen it in movies where they're hunting for pirates' treasure and they find this cave and it's filled with gold. All these gold coins and jewels and all of this stuff, I think, wow, what a great image of abundance. But I want to assure you, I'm not going to be preaching the prosperity gospel. I'm not going to be doing Joel Osteen on you or anything like that this month, so don't worry about that. But what else comes to my mind? I'm just going to be really honest with you. I always try to be honest with you. What comes to my mind also when I think about abundance, and I'm embarrassed to admit it to some extent, but what comes to my mind sometimes is a lack of. That I don't have enough of it. Or somehow I need to try to create it. What do I need to do to create more abundance in my life? And mostly I think about money, but also I think about time, energy. Today I'm thinking more about health and well-being. What do I need to do? How can I create more of it? And so I do think about that sometimes. So it's an interesting dynamic where I have sort of both things going on at times. So I'm really enjoying this book because he presents it in such a powerful way, and I'm sure his perspective is shared by many people, and I know it is shared by many, especially New Thought teachers, because he talks about abundance in a very different way. He talks about abundance as the very life energy that is the source of all that is. And he talks about, when I'm talking about awakened abundance, he uses that term in the book, but awakened abundance is the recognition, the connection, and the allowing of that flow of life to move through us. It's not about stuff, not about having stuff. It's not about the gold in that cave. He talks about how it's not measured by the things we have, the possessions that we have, abundance, true abundance. And the source of true abundance is God, is source energy, is life. So he talks about that a great deal, about how we sometimes measure abundance by outer appearances. And I was thinking about that this week, and I remember as a child, I grew up in Georgia, and I just had this great memory of all of these pecan trees. Now in Georgia, we called them pecans, but we had lots of pecan trees everywhere. Seems like my grandmother, all my grandparents had pecan trees in their yards. And I remember my aunt, my uncles, and I remember one of my vivid memories is one of my uncles had this huge pecan tree, and he covered the base of it up to a certain point with metal. And I thought, well, why did he do that? And then I was told, well, because if it's covered in metal, the squirrels can't go up the tree and get the nuts. See, you all didn't know that either, did you? Learn something new every day. But I remember when we had these, and we would have pecans, not all the time, especially, during that season. And they would be everywhere. And also there was this, not far from my grandmother's house, there was a pecan orchard. And I would go there with my grandmother to gather pecans. Now, as a kid, when we got there, I truly had this image. As kids, sometimes things seem bigger than they are, but it's like there were trees that went on forever. These beautiful, tall pecan trees planted in rows. They were planted specifically for that purpose, and it seemed as if they went on forever. And we would walk into this orchard, and there would be pecans all over the ground, and all you had to do was go out there and pick them up. Now, I'm sure my grandmother had to pay something for them, but as a kid, it didn't matter to me, right? I wasn't paying for it. But we would gather them, bushels, not baskets, I think we did bags. But anyway, all of these pecans. And I remember coming home, and we had those hand nut crackers. Remember some of those? But we also had one of those, like industrial nutcrackers with a handle on it. It's big. I don't know if you've seen those or not, but it has this handle on it that you pull. And for kids, it's fun for about 10 minutes, all right? Cracking the nuts and cleaning them out and all of that stuff. But I would remember my grandparents would be there like watching television, cracking nuts and shelling the nuts and getting the nuts ready to then make whatever, pecan pies or whatever. But we had lots of these, abundance of pecans. And, I think we can measure our abundance by that, how it shows up. But in reading the book and in really contemplating more of what he says, what I'm connecting with more now is that the abundance we could measure it by the number of pecans, but what if we took the step back? What is the real source? The pecans are not the source of the abundance. It's the life energy that's in the soil, the life energy that springs forth as the tree. It's the life energy that works in harmony with the resources of the tree and the air and the water and the soil, and all of that working in divine harmony, flowing through those trees to produce the fruit, the pecans. And the pecans are simply the expression of that life energy that we get to enjoy. We get to enjoy that. And so I thought, well, what if we were more like the trees? What if we simply were more like those trees and were deeply rooted in the consciousness of Source? That we simply root ourselves through our prayers, through our meditations, through our spiritual practices. We connect deeply with Source in whatever way works for us. And we can simply allow that Source energy to move through us, because just like those trees, you and I are expressions of that life energy. We are that life energy in expression, moving in human form. But unlike the tree, you and I get to question, we get to self-reflect, we get to wonder, well, why am I a pecan tree and not an oak tree? Right? We compare ourselves to the other trees instead of just being who we be naturally, who we are here to be, and allowing that life to flow through us. The tree simply reaches toward the light, always growing, always reaching higher toward the light and spreading itself out to capture more of the light. Just being itself. What if we could be more like that? Just simply focused, grounded, drawing through that energy, drawing it from our center and out and reaching for the light and stretching that out so that we share that, we grasp that, we connect with that all around us, and we simply allow life to express through us without concern about who's going to appreciate it or not appreciate it. The tree doesn't worry about who's worthy of the pecans or who's not worthy of their pecans. They simply give. They give of what they are. And they share it with abundance. What if we could be more like that? What if we just allow life to have its life as us without worrying about what we should be or what we could be or what we're not, but simply be what we are, and without any judgment about what somebody's going to think about it or who's worthy of our love, who's worthy of our gifts, and simply just share our gifts. Just being the source of abundance, being that source, and giving it away. I think sometimes we do live in some fear of being judged or fear of not being appreciated in some way. What he says in the book, in the introduction to the book, he says, imagine having no more fear, judgment, or resistance around having all the abundance you want. And not just making a living doing what you love, but living a life that reflects your deepest values and highest aspirations. What if we were just free? Somebody said freedom when I asked about abundance. What if we were just free? Free to live and be who we are without fear, without resistance, without judgment. What if we were free to be the very essence of abundance? As the song said earlier, there's one life, there's one love, there's one power, and one presence. That life lives through each of us. And when we can align to that, affirm that, know that we are that life. Do you truly believe, and I'm asking myself as well, do we truly believe that we are, and I don't even like the word one with, do we believe there's only one and we are that one? Do we believe there's only one source, one power, one presence, and that we are that one? What creates the most resistance, I believe, in our own thinking is the idea of duality. That there is God and there's me. Or that there is abundance, there is God and there is abundance, or there's me and there is abundance. And somehow I have to reach out for it. I have to create it. I have to make it happen. Because it's not within me, it's out here somewhere. That's the essence of dualistic thinking. And that's where we separate ourselves. What if we could truly believe I am the health, the wholeness of God? I am the prosperity, the abundance of God. I am the love that God is. And instead of worrying about getting it, we simply give it. We simply express it. So abundance becomes less about getting and more about expressing. He says in the book, too, when you realize that the source of abundance is spiritual or energetic, the substance of consciousness or spirit, and become unattached to any of its outward symbols, then you begin to generate prosperity that takes nothing from anyone and benefits everyone. You live in harmony and alignment while ending the war for wealth once and for all. You live in harmony with life itself. So when we understand that the source of whatever we're seeking, and I know this can be a challenging, it seems very simple, but it's not always easy to live it. We recognize that the world that is within us, we're not in the world is in us. Everything that we seek is already within us. Everything that we desire is already here. You believe that? It's already right here. And when we can embrace the truth of our unity, our oneness, our onlyness, and truly resonate with that, whatever aspect of that we believe is lacking in our lives, when we can know it, when we can receive it, when we can embody it in our consciousness, our thoughts, our feelings, our very vibrational frequency, then we will witness the outpicturing of it. That's what we teach. That's the law. But the exciting thing about that is that once we embrace it, once we embody it, once we know it, it doesn't matter whether it manifests in the physical or not, because we know we already are it. Right? But we can delight in the manifestations of it. And we can share it, we can give it, we can express it. So abundance, awakened abundance, really is recognizing that there is an inexhaustible, ever-renewing, unencumbered source of life. You are it in expression. And it only can be encumbered by our own thinking, our own limitations, our own resistance and fear. Can only be limited in its expression because you and I continue to believe that we are separate from it. Right? So abundance. I encourage us to remove our focus as much as possible from the outer expressions. It's great to have money. It's great to have things. It's great to have good health. It's great to have all those things, and none of that is the source. So I encourage us this week as we move about in our daily activities to just be a little bit conscious of that. Maybe be conscious of when you are placing your good outside yourself. Maybe just be conscious when you may be thinking about, well, I don't have enough, or I need more, or what can I do to create more? When we know that we are it, it's not about not doing. When we know that we are it, and we are centered ourselves in that, we can trust the inspiration to move, take the next right action. And when we do that, when we move with that energy, then we know that the steps that we take are simply an expression of that life. And things truly do begin to unfold in ways that we might have never imagined. So do you want to limit God? Do you want to limit the expression of that divine life that's living itself as you? I don't hear anybody saying, yeah, I do. Nobody does, right? So maybe have a different understanding, embracing a little bit of a different I can't even talk today. Expression of love, right? Of that life and that abundance. And so I'm going to invite my friend Jeff up. He brought some bowls with him today. And Jeff is a healer through sound energy, and he's going to be doing a concert for us in January. But I thought he would maybe share some healing energy for us all as we go into a time of just integrating what we've heard, what we've felt. As you come into the awareness, if you're willing, to close your eyes and just breathe. Opening yourself to the vibration of the sound. Allowing the tone to resonate with whatever aspect of your mind, your body, your spirit that might feel in any way out of alignment. Knowing and trusting that all is energy, all is vibration. Just continue to breathe. Opening your heart. Opening your mind. Opening your body. Allowing every cell of your body to receive whatever it needs in this moment, in the vibration of the healing bowl. And so as we open, we allow those vibrations to awaken within us, a deep connection with Source, grounding ourselves right here and right now, allowing that energy to move down through the bottom of our feet, grounding us in this life energy right here, right now, and drawing it up through us, just as the tree might draw forth what it needs in every moment, knowing that it does not deplete the soil, it does not deplete the energy. It simply draws from the source that is the very essence of abundance, what it needs in every moment. Drawing it through, drawing it forth, continuing to reach for the light, continuing to spread itself out to capture the light in so many different ways, opening itself up to the light. As we open ourselves up through prayer, through meditation, through contemplation, through simply being the presence, we open ourselves up and we allow that life energy to flow through us, igniting the very essence of that which we are. We allow it to flower forth without any resistance, without any fear, without any worry or concern about who will appreciate it, without any judgment about who might be worthy of our gifts, of our love, of our light. And we simply open ourselves, allowing ourselves to be the highest expression of the divine living itself in us and through us and as us. We receive it, we allow it, we are grateful for it. And together, let us claim it and proclaim it by saying, and so it is. Thank you, Jeff. So also I wanted to share with you that as we begin to receive your gifts and offerings this month, also we are asking for an intention card. It's time for budgeting for our center, and it's helpful when we have an idea of what we can expect for the coming year in financial good. And I know there might be some resistance to that. I know that sometimes those things come up and there's no obligation. There's no obligation. We're simply just inviting you to set a very clear intention for yourself. And we'll be collecting these cards on the 19th, but we'll be handing them out this month. And it's basically just what you are intending to give for the next year, so that we have an idea of how we can best use our resources. So our ushers will have the cards, they'll hand them out, and you can take them home, pray about it, think about it, and bring them back on the 19th, and we'll have a ceremony where we will collect those. So, now, As we begin to receive our offering, I invite you to close your eyes once again. Take what you're going to share, or take what your intention is into your heart. If you're going to share something today, hold that in your hands, hold it in front of your heart. If you shared something electronically in some other way, hold that in your heart as well. And know that it is your love. It is an expression of that life energy that you are, being expressed through this symbol of abundance. And as we open ourselves up, we know that we are in the flow. We are the flow of that divine abundance. We are grateful. We are grateful for these gifts and offerings this morning. And we know that we are blessed as we give, and we are blessed as we receive. And so it is.
So it is. I'm loving my life. You better believe it. There's good all around, and I receive it. All I desire is already mine. Makes me feel thankful all of the time. I give from the heart and know deep inside, whatever I offer will be multiplied. The circle of giving goes on endlessly, creating a world of prosperity. Grateful, grateful Spirit, I am grateful. I am living abundantly. Joyful, joyful, positively joyful. The joy of the Spirit is flowing through me. If sometimes I'm live life from a feeling of lack, that's just an illusion holding me back. God is my source for all that I need, for as I believe, I will receive. When trouble comes knocking, I will not doubt. Spirit within me is working things out. God is revealing and showing the way. I rest in that promise and joyfully say, grateful, grateful Spirit, I am grateful. I am living abundantly. Joyful, joyful, positively joyful. The joy of the Spirit is flowing through me. I believe. Spirit, I receive every good and perfect gift you have for me. Knowing my greatest good is what God has planned. Grateful, grateful Spirit, I am grateful. I am living abundantly. Joyful, joyful, positively joyful. The joy of the Spirit is flowing through me. Grateful, grateful Spirit, I am grateful. I am living abundantly. Joyful, joyful, positively joyful. The joy of the Spirit is flowing through me. Grateful. Thank you. You guys.
Thank you, Stephanie. I always learn new songs when you come to sing. Thank you for that. I love that song. So if you're willing and able, please stand as we bless our offering together, knowing that we are always in the flow of abundance. We breathe into that awareness. We share our abundance with gratitude and appreciation. And as we share that abundance, we know and we claim that it is good, that it is perfect, that we are always in the flow of that unencumbered, ever-renewing, inexhaustible life. We celebrate it, we are grateful for it, we allow it to be, and let us say together, and so it is.
This is a little call and response. I'm walking
in the Spirit,
and I'm talking.
in the Spirit,
I'm learning
in the Spirit,
and I'm turning.
turning in the Spirit,
I'm growing
growing in the Spirit,
and it's showing.
showing in the Spirit.
I'm walking with the Spirit in front of me. Let's sing it again. 'Cause I'm walking
Walking in the Spirit,
and I'm talking.
I'm talking in the Spirit,
And I'm learning
learning in the Spirit,
and I'm turning.
turning in the Spirit.
I'm growing
I'm growing in the Spirit,
and it's showing.
showing in the Spirit.
I'm walking with the Spirit in front of me. One more time. Hey, I'm walking
Walking in the Spirit,
and I'm talking.
I'm talking in the Spirit,
I'm learning
learning in the Spirit.
and I'm turning.
I'm turning in the Spirit,
And I'm growing
growing in the Spirit,
and it's showing.
showing in the Spirit.
I'm walking with the Spirit in front of me. Yeah. I'm walking with the Spirit in front of me. Yeah.
So let's go out walking in the Spirit, growing in the Spirit, learning in the Spirit, and celebrating the Spirit of abundance all around us this week. Blessings to you, and look forward to seeing you next week. Have a great one. Bye.
Woohoo! We are holy, holy, holy.